actually forgot about the nominations because I try not to focus on that kind of thing, you know. I was reading the paper and I was really upset about the shootings happening in Long Beach, and I was looking at it, you know, the LA Times, and then my phone started blowing up, and it was one of the actors from my show saying congratulations, and I was like, oh my God. There you go.
Fantastic.
I know, amazing, right?
Am I out of the frame? Okay, good. So talk a little bit about, you know, when most people think about costume design, they think of like fantasy and period and all that. So talk a little bit about how important contemporary costume design is, and then maybe go into your process a little bit.
Well, you know, my show is contemporary, but it's also period-like. You know, it's a concept show. So, you know, I'm not shopping at Bloomingdale's and Macy's, and we are, but we're not. You know, I can't make everything for every actor that comes in, but we do try to keep a sensibility of it being a little timeless. You know, so for my show, I definitely made, for all my principals, I made. Didn't make everything for Bruce because he's a kid. You know, I was able to buy some things off the rack, but we had to make shirts for him and stuff because he's a long, slim kid, and you know, things off the rack, they just don't fit right. So to make it look good, and he's a rich kid, you have to do that. You know, I like to make things. To me, that's what being a costume designer is about. Not just going shopping. For me. Not, you know, not to diss anybody, you know, but so that's why I took the show too, because I actually don't do a lot of contemporary stuff. It's mostly period stuff. You know, I did Boardwalk for a million years, so.
And so there you probably made
pretty much everything, except, you know, for the background we rent a lot, but we embellish everything. Even though we do a fitting on a background person, we don't just say, okay, that's good. We're adding trim and buttons, and, you know, you always want to personalize whatever you're doing.
How do you do research for things like this?
You know, I think they hired me because I just had the kind of sensibility, you know, that the writers and the producers wanted. It's a little rock and roll. It's a little Blade Runner. It's a little 80s. Hello. So, you know, you kind of know it, but of course I do research, and I did tons of research, and you get lots of images, and I always put up boards of inspiration boards, we call them, and I would change the pictures, add pictures, take things down, you know, as the show goes on, and it's a very anthropomorphic thing. It just changes as you go.
So, one more thing. Can
Yes.
you just talk about costume design as an art?
Oh, gosh. Well, we certainly put the hours in. You know, it's, you know, one of the biggest disappointments of a costume designer is if you go on a show and you have somebody that you're working with, that's your boss, that says, what's the big deal? They just have to get dressed. That is like the worst sentence any costume designer can hear, because it's kind of like telling a painter or a sculptor, what's the big deal? Just fill in the blanks, you know, just paint by the numbers. Of course not. It's not what we do. You know, we have to think about character. We have to think about lighting, production design, action, stunts, time, what you have available, the time of year, exterior, interior. There's so many elements that come together that if you can take all that and synthesize it and make it into something that's actually pleasing to the eye, it's a little smidge of a miracle on time, especially in TV world, I gotta say.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and this is a beautiful display.
Thank you very much.
And I'll see you at the Emmys.
OMG.